The first time I saw her, she was nothing more than a shadow behind bars. A figure crouched in the corner of a rusted containment cage, her silver skin glinting faintly beneath the dim lights of the derelict station. I hadn't expected to find anyone alive when I docked at Outpost Theta 9. Most of the abandoned mining stations in this quadrant were stripped bare long ago. But there she was, shackled and silent, her strange eyes following me as I crept through the dust-choked corridors. I froze when our gazes locked. Her pupils shimmered like fractured crystal, shifting colors in a way that made them impossible to pin down. For a second, I thought she might be an illusion conjured by the stale air and my exhaustion. But then her lips moved. "Help me." The words were broken, halting, but they were unmistakably in standard. My heart hammered. Whoever she wasn't human and she was trapped. I wasn't a soldier anymore. I wasn't even supposed to be this far from regulated space. After the wars, I tried to make a quiet living as a salvager, picking through wrecks for parts to sell. But staring at her, at the bruises on her wrists, the fear in her eyes, I couldn't walk away. So I did the one thing I swore I'd stop doing. Chose a side. The rescue. It took me nearly an hour to bypass the crude lock on her cage. Someone had welded it shut, then reinforced it with a patchwork of scavenged plating. Whoever imprisoned her hadn't wanted her to escape. She watched me the whole time, eyes never leaving my hands as I worked. When the door finally screeched open, she flinched back, as though she didn't believe it was real. "It's okay," I whispered, crouching low. "You're free now." She hesitated, then crawled out slowly, her movements stiff like she hadn't stood in days. Up close, I could see she was taller than me, her form willowy but powerful. She wore a tattered garment that looked more ceremonial than practical, covered in strange glyphs burned at the edges. "Who did this to you?" I asked. Her throat bobbed as she swallowed. "Hunters." I didn't press. I just led her to my ship. She followed, silent and wary, but when the engines rumbled to life, she pressed her hands against the bulkhead like the vibration itself was a comfort. I dropped her off at a neutral colony 2 sectors away, a place known for sheltering refugees. She didn't say much during the trip, only that her name was Elora. When we reached the colony, she turned to me, her eyes softer now. "You freed me," she said. "I will not forget." I thought that was the last I'd ever see of her. Days later, 3 days passed. I went back to salvaging, crawling through derelicts for scraps of metal and old processors. Life on the fringes is lonely, and though I told myself not to dwell on Elora, I found my thoughts returning to her often. So when my proximity alarms went off one night and I saw an unknown ship approaching, my pulse spiked. The vessel was unlike anything I'd seen. Sleek, luminous, its hull flowing like liquid metal under starlight. Then I heard the calm crackle. "Human," a familiar voice said. "It is Elora." I stared in shock as her ship docked with mine. A moment later, she stepped into my cargo bay, transformed. Gone were the tattered robes. She now wore an elegant garment of woven light, shifting colors like her eyes. She carried a small case in her hands. "You came back," I breathed. She inclined her head. "I said I would not forget. My people, we honor debts of life. You saved me. Now I bring you a gift." A gift. The case opened with a hiss, revealing a crystalline sphere the size of my fist. It pulsed with an inner glow, threads of blue light weaving through its core. "This is a Celestra," she said softly. "A fragment of my people's heart world. Holds knowledge power. To give it to an outsider is forbidden. But I choose to give it to you." I blinked, unsure how to respond. "Why me?" "Because you acted without gain. You freed me though it risked you. Such choices are rare. When she placed the sphere in my hands, I felt warmth spread through my palms, seeping into my veins. My HUD implants flickered, overloaded for a moment before stabilizing. Data flowed across my vision in languages I didn't know yet somehow understood. Schematics, star charts, histories. An entire archive compressed into light. I stumbled back, overwhelmed. Elora, I can't accept this. It's too much. Her lips curved into something almost like a smile. It is already yours. The Celestra has chosen you. The hunters. Before I could respond, alarms shrieked again. Multiple signatures appeared on my sensors. Ships emerging from the void. Their hulls were jagged, predatory, marked with symbols I didn't recognize, but Elora clearly did. Hunters, she hissed. Her eyes blazed, their colors flashing like lightning. They found me. My ship wasn't built for combat. Against even one of those raiders, I didn't stand a chance. But Elora pressed her palm to the wall, and the lights flickered as though the Celestra within me resonated with her touch. Your vessel can be more, she said. The Celestra will show you. And suddenly my HUD lit with schematics of my ship, but rewritten, optimized, like a dormant blueprint had awakened. Energy conduits I never knew existed flared to life. The engines roared, shields shimmering into existence where none had been before. Take the helm, Elora commanded. I will guide you. The battle. What followed was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. My freighter, once little more than a patched-together hauler, moved like a predator under the Celestra's influence. Elora sat beside me, her hands dancing over controls I didn't even know existed, weaving energy fields and channeling weapons from the very fabric of the ship. The hunters attacked in swarms, their jagged ships spitting fire. But each time Elora directed me, dive here, bank left, release pulse. Beams of light erupted from our hull, tearing through their armor like paper. We were two beings from different worlds, yet in that cockpit we moved as one. By the time the last raider ship burst into debris, my hands were trembling, sweat soaking my shirt. Elora leaned back, her expression unreadable. They will come again, she said. Hunters do not forgive. But now, you are not defenseless. I stared at the glowing sphere still pulsing softly near my console. What exactly have you given me, Elora? Her gaze met mine, steady and ancient. A bond. Between you and us. Choice. We hid among drifting asteroids afterward, silent except for the hum of the engines. Part of me wanted to hand the Celestra back, to wash my hands of whatever fate I'd stumbled into. I'd lived too long running from wars to start another one. But another part of me, the part that had freed her in the first place, knew there was no going back. I'd stepped onto a path that led far beyond scavenging wrecks for scraps. Elora must have seen the conflict in my eyes, because she spoke gently. You are free to choose, human. The Celestra will not bind you against your will. But should you keep it, you will be hunted as I am hunted. And you will also be protected. Protected by who? Yes. Her smile was faint but real this time. By me. The ending. I don't know if what happened next was destiny or coincidence, but when Elora's ship detached and she prepared to leave, I felt something stir inside me. Wait, I said. You don't have to go alone. She turned, her eyes shimmering with 1,000 colors. For a long moment she said nothing. Then she extended her hand.